Welcome to the tour of the Temple of Rock recording studio. I'm Steve Hambrook, drummer for Imaginal Cells, drummer and guitarist for Rockin', and perhaps soon, drummer for Sacred Right on an upcoming album. So here's our Wall of Fame. These are all the rock legends that I've had the good fortune to play with. Everybody that you see, Jonathan Cain there, and who else do we have? We have Sebastian Bach, Toto, more Sebastian Bach. There's me playing the drums. Scorpions, Nuno Bettencourt, Steve Smith over there in the corner from Journey. Me playing with Joel Hoekstra from Whitesnake, and Tesla up there on top, the rock band Tesla. There's Steve Stevens from Billy Idol Band. There's Billy Sheehan and Paul Taylor, and Paul and Kip Winger in the other picture from the band Winger. Billy Sheehan, of course, famous for David Lee Roth Band and Mr. Big, one of the best bass players in the world. And here's the studio. Here's a collection of guitars, Telecasters, Les Pauls, 7-string Schecter, 5-string Schecter bass. The room is equipped with Real Traps audio sound absorption panels and broadband sound absorption. You see some on the bottom there acting as bass traps. Here's the drum kit. We'll kind of dive into that in further detail. Obviously a lot of Zildjian cymbals there. Again, we'll look at all that in more detail later. Here's a 6505 guitar amp with an EVH cabinet there, and a Scholes research and development attenuator. Here we see Octobans with SM57 mics. This is a Yamaha Recording Custom 1988 Recording Custom drum kit. It's probably the best commodity drum set in the world ever produced. And we're miking it with the Shure PCM mic there in the inside for the kick-in, Neumann TLM 103 on the outside, plus a sub-kick. On the toms, we have Beyerdynamic small diaphragm condenser mics, TG58 I believe is the model number. So those are on the toms all the way around, as well as on the snare. I prefer to use small diaphragm condenser mics on these drums. They just have a more refined sound. On the ride cymbal here, we can see an AKG C451 small diaphragm condenser mic. On the chimes, another AKG mic there. It's a P170, I believe, small diaphragm condenser mic. And then in the back there, on those little cup chimes, we can also see another AKG C451 back there on those small effects cymbals. For the overheads, we have AKG C414s in a spaced pair array. Pretty classic overheads there. Another look at that PV6505 with an EVH cabinet. I use Telefunken dynamic mics on a lot of the guitar amp cabs. Over here we have a classic, Roland Jazz Chorus amp for beautiful clean tones, mic'd up with a couple of MXR condenser mics. And here's my main 88 key weighted controller, MIDI controller for the studio. And then above that is Paul Taylor's Yamaha Motif 7. You can see it's signed by him. This is the one he used live with Winger and Cinderella and Rock of Ages and a number of other things. He also played with Steve Perry, and it's loaded up with all of those patches still. And then above that is the Oberheim OB8 synth. Now the studio is also equipped for video production as well. We see a video camera set up here, which is currently aimed towards the drum set, but can be obviously focused anywhere. Back there we can see a picture of me with Jeff LeVar, guitar player from Cinderella. May he rest in peace. Here's another Strat and my collection of acoustic guitars, including the Alvarez Yari 12-string. And on to the console. We see Dynaudio BM15 monitors there. Those are my main monitors, as well as a pair of JBL Control Pros for the small monitors next to them. On the left side of the console, we have a 500 series rack from Friedenstein, which is outfitted with four Grace preamps, a couple of Neve preamps, and a couple of Pultec style EQs. Above that are Lexicon PCM 80 and Lexicon MPX 550. There's my little dB meter there, so I can tell how loud it's getting in the room. And here's one of two Aston room mics for the drums mainly, and for guitars as well. So they're recording the room. On the bottom rack, we have a whole series of ART tube preamps and compressors. Those have been upgraded with Mullard tubes. So even though they're relatively inexpensive, they actually sound quite good. Then here's the main console, which is a QCon Icon brand QCon console. And that is handling all of the faders and automation for the Cubase DAW that I use. And the keyboard, and the obligatory Jesus Christ Superstar coasters. My son was a lead in the national tour of Jesus Christ Superstar. He played pilot. On the right side of the console here, we have another API 500 series rack, which is fitted with a bunch of API mic preamps and Trident EQs, as well as a pair of LA 500 bus compressors. And then a utility rack at the bottom, which holds various reverbs and other effects. There's a Hughes and Kettner guitar amp, and the rest of my guitar rig, including the Avalon U5 preamp for the bass. Here's the I/O rack. Over 100 channels of digital I/O here. It's mostly all RME I/O, as well as Antelope Audio's Orion series MP32 preamps and I/O controller there, the PA AD controller. My Fender FSR Strat. Another Scholes Power Soak attenuator connected up to the Mesa Boogie Mark V, as well as a 1980 Marshall JCM 800 for the Mesa Boogie cabinet. Here's another Les Paul. Here's a snare drum collection, Gretsch Bell Brass, Noble and Cooley Alloy Classic, Ludwig Black Magic, as well as classic Maple Ludwig Yamaha Piccolo, the Dave Weckl Signature Series Piccolo snare, which was Dave Weckl's, and my Yamaha Recording Custom snare. A little bit more of the kit here, and then we'll pan up to the main vocal mic. Here's another TV rig for capturing vocalists as they sing. And the main vocal mic is a is a Neumann U87. Up in the wall are various other audio equipment, including some EQs, some power amps for some of the monitors. There's a pair of Yamaha HS8s up there as well, additional studio monitors. And on the left, we just saw a little picture of me with Vinny Appice from Dio and Black Sabbath. And there's me playing drums with Steve Smith from Journey. So let's have a look at the drum set. So we see 6 Octobans included in this configuration of the kit. A couple of Zildjian hi-hats. As I mentioned earlier, these are Yamaha Recording Custom drums, which I feel are the best sounding drums, especially for studio use. All of the cymbals are Zildjian A-series cymbals. The 18-inch floor tom, 16-inch floor tom. There's that C451 AKG mic on the effects cymbals there, the chimes and the bell. Back tucked in the corner is a 20-inch Yamaha kick drum, which I'm using as a gong bass occasionally. I have a 14-inch floor tom on my left. This particular snare drum is a 7x14 13-ply birch drum that was custom made for me by King Drums out of San Diego. Here's a look at the bass traps, which are again from Real Traps Audio. Those are broadband bass traps, basically, and a couple of still shots of the various angles of the studio. Thanks for taking this tour with me.